All right, so in today's video, we're going to talk about Stephen A. Smith. Yes, the professional tap dancer, once again trying his hardest to not tap dance his way out of his paycheck with the Republican parties, but at the same time not trying to alienate his main base, which is 9 times out of 10 black folks. So it's amazing how someone like Stephen A. Smith, who can't stand on principle, stand on business, is trying his hardest to dance here. And then we're gonna talk about Cenk. This past couple of days, he was on Turning Point USA and at their event, and he did such a kiss-ass job that even Hasan Piker, his nephew, is ashamed of him, embarrassed. And you know you have effed up if you're doing that. So let's have that conversation. So this is what it looks like when you are trying to please too many people. And we know just with basic reality information, you're not going to please everybody. You're not going to be 100% in alignment with millions of people throughout the world. So you have to understand, when you're standing on your principles, when you're standing on whatever political side of the conversation you want to be on, people are not going to like you regardless. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's helped me on this YouTube channel, is I need to know what I believe genuinely and not try to fake it. And people who agree are going to agree. They're going to subscribe. They're going to conversate. And if people don't, they're going to let me know how they feel in the comments and hopefully just keep it pushing. It's that simple. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to individuals like Stephen A. Smith, which is, I think, a really good example of an individual who is trying their hardest to not mess up their bag. You know what I'm saying? Because we know he works for Fox News. So at the end of the day, he doesn't want to, ruffle the wrong feathers, at least in my opinion. And when you're in that position, you're going to try your hardest to tap dance around taking a position on things. And he was on Fox News, which we're about to watch right now, Fox News a couple of days ago. And he's saying everything that Republicans want to hear coming from an African American, a black person, because it justifies what they think is true. And if they hear it from a non-white person, then it has to be true, right? You know what I'm saying? But then just yesterday, he goes on his own show talking a whole different tune, and he accidentally reveals the reason why he's talking the way he is. And I really want to get into that. So let's listen to this short little clip here of him telling what Republicans want to hear.
Smith, so could you see yourself seeing what you see now? And obviously Donald Trump can't run for president again, but if he could, under the current circumstances, could you see yourself voting for him?
Quite possibly. I'm not going to sit up there and dismiss that anymore. I think we're beyond that. He would have to prove a lot, Mark. And I'm not talking about policy now. For a second, allow me to say this. What concerned me about Donald Trump, and the reason I voted against him and voted for Kamala Harris, was because I felt that he would be divisive, that he would create chaos because he demands such a level of loyalty and fealty to him. And that would take priority over governing our nation. That was my concern. And so I'm looking for both sides to work across the aisle from one another. Having said that, when you see some of the things that he said, if he follows through on some of the things that he has said, it's not just about eradicating inflation, improving the economy, obviously controlling our borders. These are all things that I care about, make no mistake about that. And I certainly would support him in that regard. But it can't be just about fealty to him and loyalty to him. It has to be about getting the job done on behalf of what's in the best interest of the American people, as opposed to yourself. And
now, just right there. Yeah, hey, I'm sorry. I got to pause it, because what he is saying, like I said, if Trump supporters or Republicans in general are listening to that, they have to really ask themselves, like, just be honest. When has Trump ever demonstrated putting himself second or at the end of the line and puts other people first? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? He didn't prove that during his first 4 years, because the only successful legislation that they passed was tax cuts. and other people around him had to like create something for him to do. He didn't genuinely do something himself other than the tax cuts. You know what I'm saying? And even in his personal life, when has he put other people first before himself? That's not capitalism. That's not a CEO right there. And if he did that, he wouldn't be quote unquote rich as he is now. That's just common sense right there. So once again, I don't know where Stephen A. Smith is living to where he could ever see Trump reaching across the aisle, talking to the enemies within, you know, and trying to negotiate for the American people, not his millionaires and billionaires on which he put in his cabinet to serve. I don't know. Once again, people are just living in la la land, and they're not looking at the receipts. They're not looking at history and say, oh, is he just going to repeat what he's always been doing? Come on, guys. Damn.
Not engaging in the kind of juvenile tendencies, tweeting all the time and going after people who are really much irrelevant in the grand scheme of things. You do things like that and you show that you're the adult in the room. Yeah. I don't think anybody could dismiss Donald Trump at this particular moment in time, not just because of him, but because of what we've seen the Democrats do. We're not falling for it any longer. The American people aren't falling for it any longer. I voted Democrat, and I got to tell you something right now. I don't like the fact that I did. I don't like what I'm seeing. I don't want to hear about, oh, we're about law. We're about a law. Nobody's above the law. Nobody's above the law. But then you go out and you pardon your son and you try to.
Okay, so remember that part right there where he said, I voted Democrat, and to be honest, I don't like that I did. That symbolizes a little regret there. You know what I'm saying? Because if a MAGA or Republican said the same thing about Trump, I would just assume he's showing a little regret in the vote that he did. But let's go ahead and get into the video on now what he's trying to tell his audience. He never said that.
Some political talk, specifically my conversation on Fox News this weekend with the one and only Mark Levin. They call him the Great One, conservative.
Okay, don't care about that.
And Levin, which airs on Fox, what has transpired with the Democrats and Vice President Kamala Harris. And I've said this on many, many occasions. I don't like what I'm seeing from the Democratic Party. I said it on Life, Liberty, and Levin to Mark Levin himself. I've said it to this audience on various occasions. I'm saying it again now. Nobody's backing up from it. Nevertheless, I have to tell you that, and I don't blame Mark Levin for this, but did you see the headline on Fox News? Did you see it? Did you see it? In case you didn't see it, put it up there for us, folks. Let them see it right there. Look at that headline right there. Stephen A. Smith regrets backing Vice President Harris, open to voting GOP, not interested in the fear-mongering. Before I go to the actual clip of what I literally said,
which he doesn't add in the part into this clip that we just heard him say, I don't like that I did. I voted Democrat, I voted for Harris, and I don't like that I did. That sounds like it's regret. Just another way to say that. But now he's just trying to, oh, no, hey, my audience here, that's not what I said. They took my words out of context. No, don't believe it. Come on. Is your audience that stupid? Stephen A., Mr. Smith? Is your audience that stupid to where they're not going to go back to the original video, hear everything you said instead of the 15, 20 seconds that you want them to hear? No, of course not. But let's listen.
So I can show you all myself. Let me state for the record, I throw no fault in the direction of Mark Levin for the headlines.
Of course.
As a reporter, as a commentator and pundit throughout the years, there have been many, many times where I have said something and having no responsibility for the headlines whatsoever. The headlines didn't completely accurately portray what I had said. So if I've gone through that, I'm certainly not going to blame Mark Levin, nor would I ever accuse him of misrepresenting me. Just like I've been friends with Sean Hannity for over 20 years.
Yes,
that also applies to Mark Levin, who I've also known now pretty much 20 plus years.
This is him kissing ass right here. Like this has, oh, my friends, 20 years. Like, bro, we get it, okay? get to the part to where you're trying to make excuses, okay? I don't care how long you've been friends with these dudes. No one cares, okay? That doesn't give them any credibility whatsoever. You know what you said, and they didn't fabricate nothing. Continue.
So he is a friend. He is somebody that I communicate with often. No, we do not agree on a lot of our politics, just as is the case for Sean Hannity. But I respect those guys, and I've known them for years, and they've always watched my back, always. And I always appreciate that, and I'm always going to do the same for them. So it's not about that. But it is important that you all know exactly what I said, because headlines like that turn to go viral. So without further ado, this is just a small clip of Mark Levin asking me.
Come on.
Stephen A. Smith, so could you see yourself seeing what you see now? And obviously Donald Trump can't run for president again, but if he could, under the current circumstances, could you see yourself voting for him?
Quite possibly. I'm not going to sit up there and dismiss that anymore. I think we're beyond that. He would have to prove a lot, Mark. And I'm not talking about policy now. For a second, allow me to say this. What concerned me about Donald Trump, and the reason I voted divisive, that he would create chaos because he demands such a level of loyalty and fealty to him. And that would take priority over governing our nation. That was my concern. And so I'm looking for both sides to work across the aisle from one another. Having said that, when you see some of the things that he said, if he follows through on some of the things that he has said, it's not just about eradicating inflation, improving the economy, obviously controlling our borders. These are all things that I care about, make no mistake about that. And I certainly would support him in that regard. But it can't be just about fealty to him and loyalty to him. It has to be about getting the job done on behalf of what's in the best interest of the American people, as opposed to yourself, and not engaging in the kind of juvenile tendencies, tweeting all the time and going after people who are really much irrelevant in the grand scheme of things. You do things like that and you show that you're the adult in the room. Yeah. I don't think anybody could dismiss Donald Trump at this particular moment in time, not just because of him, but because of what we've seen the Democrats do. That is what I said.
Whoa, Stephen A. Smith. Where's the rest of the clip at? Oh, no, how convenient for you to stop it right there to be like, hey, you see what I'm saying, guys? I didn't say I regret voting Democrat. They took my words out of context. Stephen A., hey, look me in the face. Woo, man, look me in the eyes and apologize to your viewers for thinking that they're that stupid, which maybe they are. I don't know. But to think and try to pull the veil over their eyes, to try to play them the way that you doing now. Hey, brother, hey, folks like me, we do some research. We actually listen and watch the entire clip. We read articles, and they were pretty spot on to what you're saying. But now you're saying, hey, oh, no, I didn't say that. But okay, we already know. We already know what side you're on. You ain't got to play us like that. Just stand on your business and say, hey, damn right, I'm a Republican. I'm MAGA. Bust out the hat. Hey, I already know you got a few. You know what I'm saying? Probably for free. They gave you one. You know, but here is the part to where he sheds the honesty in it. And like I told you guys, if you guys been watching my videos for X amount of times, my theory is if you're wealthy, if you got some money, and Stephen A. just signed that big ass contract, he got some money. And 9 times out of 10, you don't care about policies that affect other people. Like I say, if you voted for Trump, you either hate yourself, you hate other people, or you just don't give a damn about other folks and you're worried about yourself. And that's Stephen A. Smith, that third category. He ain't worried about economics. He ain't worried about immigration. He ain't worried about trans in sports. He don't care about none of that. He's worried about his bag, about him paying taxes. He can screw about inflation and prices of eggs. He don't care about that. Really? Let's take a listen. If I could push play.
On both sides. So, you know, I just felt the need to say that because it's important that people understand. I'm going to say it again. and I'm going to have it put up on the screen every time I'm on this show and I'm talking politics. I am an independent. I am not a Democrat. So I ain't apologizing for anything
Hey, those words make me laugh. I am an independent. No, whoever is claiming that they're independent is too scared to choose a side. They rather sit on the fence so they don't have to take any accountability for what their side is doing wrong. That's simple. But okay, that's another conversation for another video.
Anti-Dem that I may say, nor am I a Republican. And I'm certainly not apologizing for that. I have things that I am conservative about, and I have things I am liberal about.
Come on.
I am a staunch conservative when it comes to my money.
Oh.
I'm a fiscal conservative. You damn right. I ain't apologizing to nobody. My man Brandon's in the studio. You got a problem with that, B? I don't have a problem. You got a problem with that? Betty, you got a problem with that? Yeah, you better not have a problem with it. I am a fiscal conservative. I can't stand these damn high taxes in New York, New Jersey, and California. Okay? So trust you me, anytime I can get away with moving to another place and not having to pay them damn taxes, I'm not going to hesitate. Let's get that out the way.
All right.
But I'm very liberal.
So, and I'm very liberal about blah, blah. Oh, no, because 9 times out of 10, and trust me, you know, I ain't never had money like that. So I can't really for sure tell you how I would feel or think. But I can imagine someone wanting to hold on to their money, which, hey, if you want to, that's cool. Just be honest with a player. You ain't got to sit here and try to finesse me into thinking that you're really for the people. Just say, damn, you looking out for your money. But that comes with consequences, because we know when you pay taxes, supposed to, and that's why we should push for a more reliable, responsible government to take our tax money and give it into the places that need it. That's what we should be fighting for, but not you making millions of dollars and you don't want to pay high taxes? Really? Don't you know that money is supposed to be going to places to kind of spread the love around? I pay taxes. Do you think people would just have the luxury to just move where they want so they don't have to pay high taxes? You know what I'm saying? So once again, I am tired of individuals trying to lie to people and pretend like they're really for the people, but really they're only looking out for themselves. And if you voted for Trump only because you don't want to pay taxes or you want to enjoy those big tax breaks right there, then you don't care about nothing else. Because Trump proposed nothing, zero, nothing, not a plan, not a detailed plan whatsoever that will benefit the American people directly. Not, oh, he does this, so this will happen and this will affect this and then this and then it'll trickle down somehow, right? No, I don't want no trinklets no more. But once again, folks like Stephen A. Smith do not care. So once again, hey, I pray to God, I pray that this video will get in front of Stephen A. Smith and he hears this person saying, hey, stop lying to your audience. Stop lying. That's simple. Hey, clip this, make it into a YouTube short. I don't do those. Put it on Instagram or on YouTube, on TikTok, whatever. He needs to hear this. Stop lying to your audience. That's simple. Man, come on now. Hey, a little integrity will go a long way. I promise you. You can't buy that. No amount of money will substitute for integrity. If you guys agree or disagree with anything I said in this video, let me know in the comments down below and let's have that conversation. So when it comes to Cenk, once again, God bless his heart. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really want to believe, okay? Let me know in the comments down below if I'm wrong for feeling this way. But like, I don't want to throw people just under the umbrella that they're MAGA. Like, I really try to give people the benefit of the doubt until they prove to me flat out, like a Stephen A. Smith, like, hey, this is who I am, you know? Then I have to believe them at that point. But I really try hard to understand where Cenk is trying to do with this plan. And it feels like it's the famous quote that we all know, like, the enemy of my enemy is my friend type vibes. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's trying to like recruit the MAGA who doesn't like the establishment and use them to like build a coalition of anti-establishment type people. Populists is what he likes to call it. And it's like, I get it, okay? Trust me, it looks good on paper. But you gotta understand, they don't care about no establishment. Because if they did, they'd be upset, one, that Trump himself he claims to be a billionaire, I don't know, but he networks with the establishment. That's his friends there. You know what I'm saying? And then second, he's filling his cabinet with nothing but millionaires and billionaires. What doesn't scream establishment other than that? So it's like, if they really were against establishments and the elites, they'd be mad at Trump. You know, but hey, don't take it from me. Let's go ahead and listen to this portion of Cenk really trying to convince these people. And like I told you, you can talk to Trump supporters about the situation. That would be my best avenue. But to talk to people like this big-headed ass dude right here, he doesn't care about your progressive left-wing talking points. He does not care. He is getting paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to stand on his positions. He's not going to give that up just for you, Cenk. Don't think so. Damn near I wouldn't, you know, but let's listen.
Democrat Party and kind of American politics from the more progressive left perspective.
Yeah. So first of all, I'm proud to represent the left flank of the populist movement. And I think we need both flanks, so I'm happy to have this conversation. In terms of what has gone wrong in the Democratic Party, it's the same thing that went wrong in the Republican Party, but I do have to give you guys credit for a revolution well done. And what I mean by that is not a revolution against the Democratic Party or the left or the country, but a revolution against the establishment. So I knew you guys were for real in fighting against the establishment when I started going on right-wing shows and I would say something negative about Mitch McConnell. And when I did that in the past, what I would get back is, oh, no, Mitch McConnell's great. Pelosi's terrible, but Mitch McConnell's great.
Let's do that here. What do you guys think of Mitch McConnell?
All right. Yes, I love that. So, look, for my left-wing friends that are watching out there, they just booed Mitch McConnell. That's a great thing, okay? And
oh, Cenk, oh man, that is not a revolution. That's literally trading one problem to another. Because yeah, Mitch McConnell was a POS. I get it, trust me. But they just traded him for the one weirdo looking guy, I forget his name, who's the Speaker of the House now. They traded him for Elon Musk. They traded him for a Vivek. But like, they didn't graduate into anything. These millionaires and billionaires literally bought their Republican Party that they want. And now they're going to transform it into the party that best fits them. So who cares if they're booing Mitch McConnell? Mitch McConnell is booing himself. His wife is probably booing him in the stage while sitting next to him. No one cares about Mitch. Mitch doesn't care about Mitch. So once again, that's not a victory of any sort. They're just replacing one asshole with a richer one. But no, he's not going to point that out. He's not going to talk about Elon Musk, the richest person on earth, funding a politician and now is a part of the government and not really a part of the government. And he's not even American born, and he has this much access to the government. But no, let's Let's bring up Mitch McConnell. Okay, that's a victory, I guess. I don't know.
Let's do one more. What do you guys think about Dick Cheney? My left-wing friends out there, we have been waiting for the right-wing populists to boo Mitch McConnell and Dick Cheney our whole lives. Take the win. Take the win. Now, what we need to do in the Democratic Party is we need to do likewise. We need to have a revolt against the Joe Bidens, the Kamala Harrises, and the Nancy Pelosi's. And
but
the
then,
Hillary Clintons, and now all of a sudden...
But no. Time out. The follow-up question is, okay, we boo the Nancy Pelosi's, the Chuck Schumers. Okay, I got you. Cool, let's do that. Hey, I will boo with you. But who are we going to support? And I guarantee you, the crowd ain't going to like no Bernie Sanders. They're not going to like an AOC because if anything, they're more in contrast with Republicans. So once again, you're feeding them what they want to hear, what they're going to cheer for, which is easy. Trump amazing. Yay. Democrats bad. Yay. Like that's easy. That's easy pickings. But then tell them some real stuff. Tell them some progressive policies. I'm just saying, but let's continue.
I'm the Dick Cheneys. What are they doing on our side? Are you guys nuts? Right?
I have to interject. When all of a sudden Kamala Harris is doing the Liz Cheney thing, I said, does she want to lose? I mean...
What's amazing is I said the same thing. Look, Dick Cheney polls at 13%. What lunatic thought it was a good idea to wrap yourself around Dick Cheney?
Yeah.
I mean, when we started the Young Turks 22 years ago, longest running show in internet history, first ever YouTube partner with original YouTubers, one of the driving forces was get Dick Cheney out of office, right? And now for Kamala Harris to come full circle and say, oh, I've got 90 corporate CEOs backing me, and I've got all these executives on my side, and I've got Dick Cheney and Liz Cheney on my side, was so counterproductive. It's not what the left wing stands for. It's not what the Democratic Party should be about. So the problem is the establishment. They are controlled by the donor class, and mainstream media is their marketing arm. They do.
So no millionaires or billionaires, which Elon Musk is halfway there of being a trillionaire. So let's not even talk about that. Doesn't count. Isn't that just the same turnoffs from the Democratic Party? The same thing is happening on the Republican Party. I don't know, but they still voted for Trump. What about Fox News? Fox News is the biggest media platform out there. It trumps, no pun intended, CNN, MSNBC by yards, okay? It doesn't even come close. Actually, their viewership increased after the election, and every other, left-leaning media platforms actually dropped viewership, like the CNNs and the MSNBC, whatever it's called. So call them out, because if anyone's pushing propaganda, it's Fox News by margins, especially this idiot right there. So it's like, once again, you need to, if you're trying to build this coalition, you need to make sure you're pointing everybody out and not just telling these people what they want to hear. Because 9 times out of 10, they're not going to want to hear that. They just want to hear you supporting what they already believe. But that's not going to happen. He's just going to continue kissing ass, telling them what they want to hear. But let's listen to Hasan be disappointed in his own uncle. Let's see.
You can't hug and kiss conservatives and lean into their insanity. Okay, you can't do that. If your goal is to actively decouple them from the whims of reactionary sentiment, you can't do that by compromising with them and telling them you know what, honestly, you're right on this. Okay, you can't tolerate their intolerance because their intolerance is inherently illogical. Their intolerance is not coming from a place of genuine concern, but pure anger. And oftentimes It is a very apt mechanism of distraction and deflection away from the real vectors of harm in contemporary society. It's stupid. This doesn't mean that you should, like, I don't know, actively treat anyone and everyone as though they're Charlie Kirk. You know what I mean? Like a professional villain. But it certainly means that it certainly means that, like, stay true to your convictions and try to find areas where you do agree that do not pertain to shitting on trans people or shitting on black people, or you can stay civil, especially when you're having a conversation with, you know, normal conservatives who are victims of propaganda themselves, understanding that they arrived at these positions due to so much social conditioning. Okay? Yo, you just said not to compromise. You need to be more careful with your words. Yes. Never compromise on your values. The f do you mean? Never compromise on your values and never capitulate to right-wing framing. Absolutely. But that doesn't mean that you should also be antagonistic or aggressive to some random conservative person that you met. Okay?
So, and, you know, then he's going to start talking to whoever's chatting right here, and then it kind of goes off there. But once again, I'm pretty sure you know Hasan. If you're subscribed to me, 9 times out of 10, you're probably subscribed to him. But anyway, that's literally what I've been saying this whole time. Like, I will have the conversations in good faith with any Republican, any conservative on any topic. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not the issue. And I'm going to stand on my positions. I'm going to stand on my business, and I will never compromise my core values just to quote unquote get them on my side. I don't really care, but we can have that conversation, you know. But when it comes to the Ben Shapiro's, the Candace Owens, my bad. Hey, you know, when it comes to the Charlie Kirks, the Matt Walshes, those individuals, in my opinion, are lost. They are a lost cause because they're getting paid millions of dollars to stand in conspiracies, misinformation, no statistics, no historical context. They don't care about that. So why would they ever give that up just to team up with you, team up with little old me? They don't care about that. So if I was ever in a conversation, I don't care about nothing that they say, because I know 9 times out of 10 it's some bull. And I'm not going to sit here stress myself out with showing facts and numbers and history. They don't care about that. I've seen plenty debates, conversations where they just didn't care. So I would never waste my time. I would literally just shit on them. Well, not literally, but figuratively just shit on them and just keep it pushing. I would never take individuals like that seriously. I'm sorry. I'm not going to waste my time on them. But I will take my time to speak with people and try to just give them the information that I have and let them just do what they do with it. That's simple. But once again, Cenk, hey, I'm cheering for you, I guess, you know, but when they laugh at you behind your back and start calling you names, I don't want to be the guy that say, I told you so. I mean, I know you don't know me and you probably will never watch this, but I'm going to say I told you so. That's simple. But once again, guys, if you guys agree or disagree with anything I said in this segment or in this video, let me know in the comments down below, or hit that Discord button so we can have that one-on-one talk. And like always, let's have that conversation.